Around 11,886 years ago, something happened to our sun. A massive energy release that scorched one side of Earth while freezing the other. Evidence in ice cores shows temperatures dropped 20 degrees Fahrenheit in less than a decade. What if this wasn't the first time? What if cyclical solar events have repeatedly reset human civilization? And we're overdue for the next one. Modern plasma physics research has identified a pattern. Every 12,000 years, our sun may experience what scientists call a micronova, a focused energy burst powerful enough to strip atmospheres, flip magnetic poles, and trigger catastrophic flooding. The geological record shows this timeline matches major extinction events with disturbing precision. 17 minutes from now, you'll understand why coastal civilizations vanished without warning, why ancient cultures built underground cities, and why establishment science avoids discussing solar forcing mechanisms that don't fit comfortable timelines. Before we dive in, comment below. Where in the world are you watching from? I want to know how far this evidence is reaching. Are you watching from the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, or somewhere else entirely? Drop your location in the comments right now. Mainstream archaeology teaches that civilization emerged around 6,000 years ago. Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley. Gradual development from simple farming communities to complex societies, linear progress interrupted only by drought, war, or disease. This narrative requires ignoring geological evidence that doesn't fit. Sediment layers showing rapid sea level changes, ice cores documenting temperature swings that shouldn't be possible, magnetic field data revealing pole reversals happened far faster than models predict. Then in 2011, plasma physicist Ben Davidson began compiling solar research that mainstream science had filed away. NASA data on solar cycles declassified. CIA reports on climate catastrophes. Peer-reviewed studies on geomagnetic excursions that mysteriously stopped getting funding. What emerged was a pattern. The sun operates on multiple cycles. The 11-year sunspot cycle everyone knows. A 200-year cycle affecting climate and a 12,000-year cycle that changes everything. Scientific analysis reveals our sun is electrically connected to the galaxy through Birkeland currents. These cosmic-scale electrical flows vary in intensity. When galactic current density increases, the sun must discharge excess energy, not gradually over centuries, but catastrophically over days. The mechanism works like this. As galactic sheet current intensity rises, the sun's internal electromagnetic pressure builds. Eventually, the plasma sheath surrounding the solar core becomes unstable. The sun releases a focused coronal mass ejection orders of magnitude stronger than anything in recorded history. This is the micronova. By the time this energy burst reaches Earth, it's traveling at 3 million miles per hour. The side facing the sun experiences thermal shock. Surface temperatures spike 300 degrees in minutes. Oceans boil. Atmosphere strips away in supersonic winds. The opposite hemisphere freezes instantly. Mammoth remains in Siberia show they died mid-chew. Flash frozen so quickly, their stomach contents remain intact. Trees snap like matchsticks from thermal stress. The geological record shows burn layers from cosmic fires, followed immediately by ice. Modern geography would be unrecognizable. Coastal regions extending 400 miles inland vanish under sudden sea level rise as ice caps melt from thermal shock. Mountain ranges experience simultaneous volcanic eruptions as electromagnetic forces destabilize tectonic plates. Magnetic north shifts thousands of miles in hours. If this evidence is new to you, hit the like button right now. It tells the algorithm to share this with more people who question official timelines. Seriously, pause and like this video. Greenland ice cores contain the record. The JISP-2 project drilled 2 miles into ancient ice, creating a climate timeline spanning 110,000 years. What they found contradicts every gradualist model. Around 12,800 years ago, temperature proxies show a spike, then immediate collapse. Beryllium-10 and chlorine-36 isotopes spike simultaneously. These isotopes only form when cosmic rays penetrate deep into the atmosphere. Something temporarily removed Earth's magnetic shielding. The same signature appears at 24,000 years ago, and 36,000 years ago, and 48,000 years ago. The pattern repeats with 12,000-year precision. Each event shows the same isotope spike, temperature collapse, and magnetic field disruption. Antarctic ice cores confirm it. The Vostok core, spanning 420,000 years, documents multiple cycles. Every 12,000 years, like clockwork, the pattern repeats. Mainstream climatology attributes this to Milankovitch cycles, orbital variations affecting solar radiation. But Milankovitch cycles are gradual. The ice core data shows catastrophic shifts. Temperature changes that should take centuries happen in under a decade. Atmospheric composition flips in years. This isn't orbital mechanics, it's electromagnetic forcing. Black mats cover archaeological sites across North America. These carbon-rich layers contain nanodiamonds, spherules, and exotic materials only formed under extreme heat and pressure. Dating shows they formed 12,800 years ago, exactly when temperatures collapsed. Mainstream position attributes black mats to natural processes: biomass burning, decomposition, sediment accumulation. But the distribution pattern makes no sense for gradual formation, and these mats appear simultaneously across 15,000 square miles, from Alaska to South Carolina. The spherules within these layers tell the real story. Microscopic analysis reveals they contain iridium and nickel ratios, inconsistent with terrestrial formation. The magnetic properties match cosmic ejecta. These materials formed in plasma temperatures exceeding 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. Scablands in Washington state preserve evidence of catastrophic flooding. Mainstream geology finally accepted the Missoula flood theory after decades of resistance. A natural ice dam failed, releasing 500 cubic miles of water in 48 hours. But here's what they don't emphasize. The erosion patterns show multiple floods, not one. And the energy required to carve 400-foot canyons through basalt suggests water moving at speeds no ice dam failure could generate. Unless something melted the ice caps simultaneously across the northern hemisphere. Earth's magnetic field isn't stable. The North Magnetic Pole has shifted 600 miles in the past 150 years, accelerating dramatically since 2000. Current drift rate exceeds 30 miles per year. At this acceleration, the field could collapse within decades. Geological evidence shows this has happened before. Lava flows preserve magnetic orientation when they solidify. Studies of these flows reveal rapid pole reversals. Layers show magnetic north jumping thousands of miles in under 100 years. The Lachlan event 41,000 years ago dropped magnetic field strength to 25% of normal for several centuries. During this time, cosmic radiation reached Earth's surface. Unfiltered carbon-14 production spiked. Cave art suddenly appears worldwide. What triggered the Lachlan event? Standard models suggest random core convection fluctuations. But the timing aligns with a 12,000-year micronova cycle. If the cycle triggered a previous event 41,000 years ago, we're now approaching 12,000 years since the Younger Dryas impact. Pause and comment your answer. Do you think solar cycles could trigger civilization collapse? Comment 1 if you think the evidence supports cyclical catastrophes. Or 2 if you think it's correlation without causation. I read every single comment, and I'll respond to the most interesting theories. Here's what mainstream archaeology struggles to explain. Why did dozens of advanced coastal settlements vanish simultaneously 12,000 years ago? The archaeological record shows thriving communities with sophisticated architecture, maritime technology, and astronomical knowledge. Then nothing, just underwater ruins and cultural memory of a flood. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey proves humans 11,600 years ago could move 20-ton limestone blocks and carve intricate symbolic reliefs. This wasn't primitive hunter-gatherer activity. This was organized labor requiring logistics, specialization, and accumulated knowledge. Yet mainstream timelines place this just 800 years after the Younger Dryas impact supposedly reset civilization. What if these weren't the first builders? What if Göbekli Tepe represents survivors rebuilding, not primitives advancing? The site's astronomical alignments track precession cycles spanning thousands of years. That knowledge doesn't develop in one generation. It requires long-term observation and cultural transmission. Could 13,000 years ago humans have understood solar cycles? We know they tracked lunar phases, solar solstices, and planetary movements. The Antikythera mechanism from 2,000 years ago calculated eclipses and Olympic Games decades in advance. Ancient Babylonian astronomers predicted planetary positions with accuracy not matched until the Renaissance. If Bronze Age Greeks could build analog computers, what could their predecessors achieve with equivalent time to develop? The assumption that earlier means primitive ignores evidence. Sophistication requires time and stability. Catastrophic resets erase progress, forcing survivors to start over with fragments of former knowledge. The solar micronova theory isn't isolated. Underwater structures off Japan, India, and Cuba show architectural features at depths requiring 10,000 plus years of submersion. The Sphinx shows water erosion patterns suggesting construction before Egypt's arid period. Megalithic sites worldwide align to the same precessional star positions from 10,500 BCE. These aren't coincidences. They're data points suggesting a global maritime civilization that understood astronomy, possessed advanced construction techniques, and vanished during a cataclysm 12,000 years ago. Every flood myth from Sumeria to Australia describes the same event. The sky caught fire, the earth shook, and the waters rose. Plato's Atlantis account specifies 9,000 years before Solon, placing destruction around 9,600 BCE. Egyptian priests told Solon their records described multiple catastrophes, with the most recent destroying advanced nations. The Edfu temple texts describe the first time when knowledge was preserved after a disaster by survivors who rebuilt civilization. The Younger Dryas boundary layer contains the evidence. Platinum concentrations spike 100 times normal levels. Platinum doesn't concentrate naturally in sediment. It comes from cosmic impacts or solar plasma interaction with upper atmosphere. The distribution pattern spans the northern hemisphere, exactly where you'd expect a focused solar event to strike. Spherules in this layer show magnetic alignment. They solidified in the presence of a powerful magnetic field while molten. Earth's magnetic field during the Younger Dryas was weakening, not strengthening. What magnetized these particles? Solar plasma carries embedded magnetic fields, orders of magnitude stronger than Earth's weakened field during excursions. Nanodiamonds in the boundary layer require extreme pressure and temperature. Mainstream theory invokes comet impact, but comets are ice and dust with minimal rocky material. The nanodiamond concentrations exceed what a comet impact could produce. Solar plasma at 3 million miles per hour striking carbon-rich atmosphere generates the exact conditions needed. Vitrified forts across Europe show stone melted to glass. Mainstream attributes this to timber-laced walls catching fire. but experiments show wood fires can't generate temperatures needed to vitrify granite. You need 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit sustained for hours. Thermal shock from solar plasma explains these sites better than any conventional theory. The Peary Race map from 1513 shows Antarctica's coastline without ice. The cartographer noted he compiled it from source maps, dating to Alexander the Great's era and earlier. How did ancient mapmakers chart Antarctica's coast unless it was accessible? The ice sheets covering it formed after the Younger Dryas, when rapid cooling trapped water. Mainstream position suggests the map shows South America's coast, misinterpreted. Detailed analysis shows the longitude and latitude match Antarctica, not South America. The coastal features align with seismic surveys of the bedrock beneath the ice. Either ancient mariners mapped Antarctica before ice covered it, or we're seeing coincidence beyond statistical probability. Graham Hancock documents over 200 flood myths worldwide, describing similar catastrophes. The Hopi described 3 previous worlds destroyed by fire and ice. The Aztecs recorded 4 previous suns, each ending in destruction. Hindu texts detail yugas, world ages ending in cataclysm every 12,000 years. Skeptics dismiss myths as allegory or natural disaster memory. But the consistency across cultures separated by oceans demands explanation. These weren't isolated tribes, independently inventing the same specific details. They were inheriting fragmented memory of real events from survivors who witnessed them. Modern observations confirm the cycle continues. Earth's magnetic field has lost 9% strength in 170 years, accelerating since 2000. Magnetic north has shifted 600 miles in 150 years, with drift rate now exceeding 30 miles annually. The South Atlantic anomaly grows larger yearly, allowing cosmic radiation to penetrate deeper into the atmosphere. Solar Cycle 25 is proving more active than NASA predicted. Sunspot counts exceed forecasts. Coronal mass ejections increase in frequency and intensity. The interstellar medium surrounding our solar system has increased in density, confirmed by Voyager probe data. These are the same conditions the micronova theory predicts before a major solar event. If the 12,000-year cycle holds, we're not just approaching the next event. We're in the window. The last confirmed micronova was 12,886 years ago, marking the Younger Dryas. We're 886 years past the cycle point. Given the scale of geological time, we could be decades or centuries from the next event. On cosmic scales, that's tomorrow. The evidence raises more questions than answers. Why doesn't mainstream science openly discuss solar forcing mechanisms? Why do climate models ignore electromagnetic effects demonstrated in laboratory plasma physics? Why does archaeology resist evidence of pre-Younger Dryas sophistication when the physical proof keeps accumulating? These questions matter because the implications affect survival preparation. If micronova events are real and cyclical, underground cities like Derinkuyu in Turkey make sense. 11 levels carved 280 feet into bedrock, housing 20,000 people with ventilation, water, and storage. Not defense against invaders. Defense against something from above. If you found this evidence compelling, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel exists to examine what mainstream narratives ignore. The geological record, the astronomical cycles, and the archaeological anomalies that don't fit comfortable timelines.